Hi all. So I just wanted to do a quick explanation of how the discussion group works. So first, let's go ahead and share the screen. Let's take a look at the discussion group document. So the discussion group document explains exactly what you have to do, and it explains the rubric for how these things are graded. So first, this document is posted under important documents on layout. So for your initial post, which is due every single Wednesday at 11:48 p.m., you begin the discussion by doing one of the following. You can post a fully solved problem from the practice sets with each step written out to provide a helpful example to your classmates. So that's one option. And honestly, that's my least favorite of the options because the discussion group is largely for asking questions. The second is that you can post a partially solved problem from the practice sets with some steps written out and ask for help from your classmates. So this is when you're doing your practice sets and you have a question. The third is post a fully solved problem from the practice sets with a mistake in it, write out each step and ask your classmates to identify the mistake. For these, you want to clearly label that this problem is a find the mistake problem. Now, one of the things you'll notice about this is that each one of these requires you to post one question, not the whole practice set, not two questions from the practice set. So each post should only contain one problem. The reason for this is because I'd like the discussion group to be a place where if someone is struggling with a problem, they can easily go find that problem. So you're going to label this practice set 1, number 6F. For example. Now, this is going to be a little bit different with the graphs practice set because the graphs practice set, each practice problem is one problem. So each graph represents one problem. So for the graphs, you're going to do number 1, all of those things because they all are associated with the same graph. So that graph counts as one problem. So if you feel like you want to post 2 problems, then you need to do that in 2 different posts. So I've noticed already some of you have posted 2 problems in one post. You need to fix that. So you need to have 1 problem per post. Okay, and so then these are the 3 options of what those problems can look like. Now let's go and look at teams real quick. So this is our team. Notice there's a discussion group tab. And here I've given an example of what this is going to look like. So this is practice set 1, number 1. I labeled it as such. Then I did that problem. So the problem was the graph as well as all of the questions about the graph. And I posted it in the discussion group. This is the discussion group. So this is where your posts are going to go. This is the only thing that you have due that is not due in the class notebook. So do not post this in the class notebook. Do not post it in the collaboration space. Do not post it in your team number. So like if you're in team 1, you'll see team 1. Don't post it there. You post it in the discussion group. Okay, so this is where your first post goes. Now let's go back to that discussion group grade. So the discussion group, the second part of the discussion group is for your responses due by Sunday at 11:48 p.m. Expand the discussion by responding to at least 2 classmates' posts. What this means is you are not responding to your own post. You are not responding to a question that someone has posted on your own post. You are encouraged to do that. If you post something and someone asks you a question, respond. That's how this discussion group works. But for your grade, you need to be responding to 2 of your classmates' posts. So that's 2 other people's posts. So the responses may include answering another student's questions, providing additional information about how to solve a problem. So if someone has posted a question, like with number 2, a partially solved problem, you can post additional information. You can respectfully correct a mistake that a student made. You can propose a new idea, so suggest another way to do the problem, or you can ask a probing question. So maybe they posted a completed problem and you want to get more information about the work that went into it. So you ask a probing question. Now, let's say that someone has responded to your post with a probing question. Responding to that question does not count to your grade because that is still responding to your post. You must go respond to another classmate's initial post. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, as mentioned before, your title for the initial post should be typed in, but you may post a picture with your work. So that's exactly what I've done here. I typed in the problem that I did, so that's my title, and then I posted a picture with my work. Next, so to receive credit for your posts, you should post the links to your posts and responses in the associated discussion group page in your class notebook. So this is where you go to the class notebook. So now I can go back to general. I'm going to click on the class notebook. Then we're going to go into the class notebook. So we'll press the little purple button here, purple arrow here. You're going to go to your name. And every single week I'll be updating this. There's a discussion group tab. The point of this tab is to give me your links. So discussion group week 1, please post your links to your initial post and your responses here. So your initial post will be here, your response 1, your response 2, and the initial post is due by Wednesday. The responses are due by Sunday. Again, those responses are to other classmates' initial posts. Your initial post should contain just one question, and that initial post goes here in the discussion group. So this way, you can easily search through the discussion group. Now, the last thing that's important about this is also in the class notebook, every single class period, I will be updating the problems you can do. So if you go to the class notebook again, and we press on our little arrow, if you go to the collaboration space, so in the collaboration space, there's a discussion group tab that says, which problems can I do? And notice on August 24th, I posted the discussion group problems you could work on. And on August 25th, I posted the discussion group problems you could work on. Note that in here, I'll also be letting you know what web work problems you can do after class that day. So I will be updating this after class every single day, and it will help you to figure out which problems you can work on for the discussion group. Okay, so just kind of brief summary. Your discussion post goes here. It should contain one problem. It should have a clear title. Your discussion post goes here. It should contain one problem. It should have a clear title. Your responses you can make by clicking, you can also make it big by clicking on the picture, but your responses you can make by clicking reply, right? And you reply to someone else's. If your name is up here at the initial post, then you don't reply to that. You should respond to people's questions if they ask you questions about your post, but that does not count to your grade for your response. Now, just to make sure that you guys see this, if you want to post your link, which you should because that's part of your grade, you can click the 3 dots and you can copy the link. And that's going to give you the link so that you can go post it in the discussion group page on the class notebook. Now, the last thing is there's a rubric for the discussion group that explains exactly how it is graded. So if ever you're unsure how many points you're going to get or why you got a certain number of points, you can go down here and you're going to receive 3 points for the initial post and 1 point for each response. So that's for a total of 5 points for your discussion group post every single week. And this explains when you might receive 2 points, when you might receive 1 point, and how you might get 0 points for the initial post and for the response. So if ever you're a little bit confused about your grade, you can come here and look at the rubric. I will try to make it clear what your grade is coming from, but this is the rubric. This is how you will be graded. Okay, so if there are any more questions about the discussion group, please don't hesitate to ask, but hopefully this video was helpful in helping you figure out exactly what you're supposed to be doing, or if you've already done something wrong. All right, see you guys in class.